So the next mantra of Durga Sukta for meaning is Agne Tvam Parayanavyo Asman Swasti Bhirati Durgani Vishva Uscha Prithvi Bahulana Urvi Bhavatokaya Kanaya Yashayo. So, Hey Agne, again, though this is the Durga Sukta, it is actually the worship of Agni. The reason is that the Devi Durga is represented by Agni and only. Agni and Durga are synonymous here. That is, that's also why we use the word Jataveda. Jataveda is also the epithet of Agni. Because he is Agni Swarupa, actually. The Devi is Agni Swarupa. Hey Agni, O Agni, Navyaha. Navyaha means you are ever new. So, what is the nature of anything in the creation? Everything in the creation goes through the 6 changes, the Shadvikaras. There is a birth, and there is growth, there is maturity, there is decay, death. So all these things are common for everything that is manifest. But this form of Agni, even for Agni it is the same. Because there is no Agni, you light up the Agni, it will burn for some time, it will grow for some time, and then if you don't keep feeding it with the fuel, it will douse itself. So the Vikaras are there even for the elemental Agni, isn't it? But this Devi who is Agni, she is Navyaha. Whenever you use the word ever new, what does it mean? It means that there is no change in that person, in that entity, in that concept. It is ever new. And then, therefore, because it is ever new, you are worthy of our prayer. We are worthy of our worship. This again is human nature, that is, as long as something is useful to us, until that time, there is respect for the entity. Otherwise, once the uselessness of an entity happens, then what happens? That person or that entity or that concept is ignored. Yavat viddopachana shaktaha tavan nija parivaro raktaha. As long as you are able to be productive, there is value for you. Paschat tishtati jarjaradehe vartam pruchhati kopi na gehe. Even in your own house, nobody cares for you. It's such a reality statement. See, this is why we also always pray for Navo Navo Bhavati Jayamano Nam Keturshasa Metyagre Bhagan Devebhyo Vidhadatyayan Prachandrama Astirati Dirghamayuhu. As long as I'm alive, as long as there is a last breath in me, till such time, let there be freshness. Unless I am fresh, there is going to be decay, there is going to be attrition, we will just go into the dust. And therefore the prayer is Navo Navo Bhavati. Hey Devi, since you are like that, you are worthy of Namaskara. So because you are worthy of Namaskara, what is the definition of Namaskara? Namaha means Aradhya Adhinatva Sampadhanam Namaha Ityarthaha. The Shastra Vichara in the Shastra says Aradhya, that which you are worshipping, Adhinatva Sampadhanam, that concept becomes yours, in fact almost like your subordinate. Adhinatva means subordinate. That which you are worshipping must become your subordinate, means what? Whatever you ask you should get. Aradhya Adhinatva Sampadhanam, getting that is Namaha Ityarthaha. So whenever you say Namaskara, it doesn't mean just folding your hands Or it doesn't mean what they call as Prakvi Bhava. Prakvi Bhava means bending down. It doesn't mean just a service temporarily that you offer to a particular entity. It means that you do what I want. That's why we pray to God, isn't it? We ask of a boon, we ask of a favor, we want the deity to respond to that. And how can Durga respond to us unless she is ever new? And therefore you are Namaskara. So whenever you say Namaskara to any entity, that entity must be ever fresh, ever new, must be able to give you something that is always new. It also tells us how we should conduct our life, isn't it? All this is niti for us. Otherwise, we cannot say, I did these things in the past, now you serve me. The question is, what have you done for me today? Instead of that, you ask another question, what have I done? What have I done for you today? That is how we have to think about ourselves. So this Namaskara Arhaha. And therefore we are asking, how can I be like that? How can I get that? Only when Asman Swastibhihi. Only when you give me a constant rejuvenation. Swasti means that which makes us happy during the process and at the end also. How many of our projects end up in happiness, but in the process we are suffering, isn't it? Here we are asking, both as a means and the end, let it be auspicious, please grant me. Only you can do, because you can make it every moment ever new. And therefore, Asman Swasti Bihi. To be able to do that, to get Swasti or auspiciousness at every moment, every step of the way, through the process of achieving the end, and that can happen only when every obstacle that comes from everywhere is then and there neutralized. So the mantra says, Vishwa Durgani Atiparaya. Durgani, all the hardships, Durgani means hardships, all that which cannot be transcended, that cannot be crossed by myself, that hardship that can come from different quarters, whether it is Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, or Adidaivika, Tapatrayas, from any one of those things, as and when they come, let them not reach me. You neutralize even before it reaches me. So that during the process and as an outcome, I will always have Swasti. Beautiful mantra. Agne tvam paraya navyo asman swastibhihi ati durgani. Not even ordinary difficulties. Ordinary difficulties I can handle. But what about insurmountable difficulties? Only you have to help. Therefore you are worthy of worship. I offer you my namaskara. And then the removal of the obstacles also, swastibhihi, you see, he has used the Chaturthi Vibhakti. The swastibhihi, that means if the hardships must be removed smoothly. In the means, it has to be removed, and then how we know that very well, urvarukamiva, as gently as the dropping off of a ripe fruit, it should go. And then atiparaya, take me through all of that, guide me through all of these. So in this phrase, we pray not only for our welfare. Please note, though this dhvani, it looks as though I'm asking for a favor for myself. Now we have to ask the question, is it enough if I am happy and comfortable? Is that enough? What if in our surroundings people are not happy? What if in my family others are not happy? How can I be happy? Even though I am in perfect health, I am in perfect happiness, everything is there for me. If people whom I care, the society I care, the neighborhood I care is not happy. You may build a multi-million-dollar home, and if you do it in a ghetto, And there is poverty all around. We see so many pictures in Bombay where you have got a mansion and there are actually slums all around. In good conscience, how can those people be happy seeing so many suffering? Isn't it? So therefore, here we are saying next, Pushcha. Puhu means the town, the village in which I am living. That's the name of Puhu. Pushcha Naha Puhu. Which town, which city, which community? Naha, ours. Naha Puhu. Not only that, Prithvi. Everything in the world, our surrounding land, our country. Asmin Rashtre Yogakshemona Kalpatam. In our nation, let everybody have happiness and prosperity. Not only that, he says, Urvi. Urvi means all arable lands. Let there be prosperity and let there be plenty in every part of our arable lands. Let there be no floods. Look what is happening in Kerala, in South India. Let there be no floods. How much of wealth is washed away? How crops are washed away? How many acres and acres, hundreds and thousands of acres are burnt in California? So we have to pray, make this prayer saying that Pushcha Prithvi, Bahulana Urvi, and all of these things, Atidurgani Paraya, take this through all these hardships. And then, is it enough if we are happy, our surroundings are happy, our contemporary people are happy? What kind of a world we have to leave to our children and grandchildren? Can we simply consume everything that we have for ourselves, not caring for our children and grandchildren, for posterity, in essence? Therefore, here we are saying, Toka means our children, Tanaya means their children and their children and their children, whole progeny. So Tanaya, the parsing of that is Tanoti Kulam iti Tanaya. Kula means family. Tanoti means expands. By your presence, the family expands. Therefore, it is called Tanaya. In Sanskrit, we use Tanaya by saying you are a Tanaya. Tanayaha, son. Tanaya, daughter. If you say Tanaya or Tanayau, daughter and children. But actually what it means is, because you are here as my child, this is called a family. Otherwise, it's not a family, isn't it? Because a group of people can live under one roof. An apartment complex, 100 families will be there. Can we call that as a family? We have to feel that it is a family. We have to make the 100 families become like one family. And therefore we are making this prayer. But natural progeny, Tanaya, and then so this, our children, our entire progeny, may all of them have Swastibhihi Atidurgani Vishwa. All of them go through their life very smoothly. You please bless that way. And it is a profound meditation where we just do not pray for ourselves. We do pray for ourselves. We do pray for self-interest, which is natural and instinctive, but we also have to have public spiritedness. This is one thing that I have found, please correct me if I am wrong, in the Indian body politic is lost. There is a lot of families support themselves, they take care of their children, they care for their education, but they do not care for society. This is what my guru all the time used to say. You must become a Rashtraka. You must be part of the creation. You must be a part of the universe. You must be part of the society without ignoring family. We have to first secure our family, but we must have empathy and care for society. I am very, very pleased that our children here, who are born and growing up here, they have that sense, that sensibility. And they care for the society. And they also take care of their family. And here the message, you can see this is the Vedic idea. Just don't think of yourself or your family. Think of the society. And what is the beginning of thinking of the society? Pray for the society. Worship for the society. And then look at your neighbors. Say a kind word to them.
The Kerala floods, and WhatsApp messages come like, the youngsters are going out and helping them.
Yes, exactly. For us, our neighbor here, he mows our lawn. He just said, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And our neighbor on this side, he shovels the snow. That's all he does. And then what is it we give in return? Nothing. A kind word. That's all. Look at that public spirit. That is very, very essential. That's the real message of this. So, a self-centered person, just as a sidebar, a self-centered person, totally self-centered person, may get some respect in his own home. Swagrihe pujyate murkhaha. Beautiful Subhashita is there. Swagrame pujyate prabhu. If you go out of Columbus, who knows who is the mayor of Columbus? I don't know who is the mayor of Hilliard, to be honest with you. Swagrame pujyate prabhu, swadeshe pujyate raja, vidwan sarvatra pujyate. So who is a vidwan? Not a person who is learned in some skill or art or subject. Vivek Chudamani tells who is a real vidwan. A real vidwan is one who is compassionate, who is selfless, who is socially spirited, who works for a concept called Loka Sangraha. The minimum we can do is to pray, let everybody in the society, Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, and do that wholeheartedly. Swasti Bharati Durgani Vishwa. This is the vision of our Savior. Now, how does this relate to Agni? Because it's a prayer to Agni, and these values are being conveyed to us. So we should ask the question, how are all these concepts related to Agni? Because Agni is as fire on earth, which warms us and cooks our food and maintains the balance of temperature, as Vaishwanara inside us, who is processing the food that we eat, the fire of digestion, Vaishwanara, as Surya in the sky, as the sun in the sky, as Vayu in the atmosphere, as Jata Veda, one who is a repository of knowledge, because knowledge is also Agni. Because it agre nayati iti Agni. What does knowledge do? It leads people ahead. And therefore, hence, in this prayer, with these values, you say Agni. You can see the relevance of why this is addressed to Agni, and nature every day, all the time, demonstrates to us this spirit. In nature itself, you will see this spirit. And here is a beautiful Subhashita. Paropakaraya phalanti vrikshaha. Why do all the trees give fruit? Do they eat? It is only for somebody else to eat. Paropakaraya vahanti nadyaha. It is for the sake of others only rivers flow. Paropakaraya duhanti gavaha. It is only for the sake of others cows give milk. Paropakararthamidam shariram. We are here only for the sake of others. And the word, beautiful word used is paropakara. Paropakara means, how do you parse that? Para, to others. Upa, samipe, karoti. Upa, samipe, karoti, to others. That is, we don't from a distance bless them. To be near them, close to them, and then see what they want. And this is the real message of this beautiful mantra. I was so excited when I was writing my notes on.
So it's not like saying in the email, okay, let me know if I can help you.
Yeah. Actually, they are there. They come to your door and they do it. Hari Om. Let's do Shanti Mantra. Each mantra. That is why this is called the Veda. That is why it is eternal.